Kent is full of ancient churches, and our tower was 1,000 years old, and we had 8 bells in it. And for those of you who don't, if you do know, I'm sorry if this is a bit boring, but for those of you who don't know, you need to understand that in the Church of England, bell ringing is different to every other tradition in the world. The only place you will find this kind of bell ringing is in Anglican churches where the British Empire has been, basically. Because if you go to the continent, you will have a bell, and it will be able to swing like that, and then there'll probably be a wheel, and the rope will go over the wheel, and you just pull the wheel and go down, down, down. Is that the same in Greece? Yeah, down, down. Yeah, that's what happens. England, we have to be, as the children who I used to teach used to say to me, "Sir, you're so extra." We have to be extra. So we do that, and we ring the bells, but then we ring it up to there until it balances. And there's a little bit of wood to stop it going any further. And it's easy to break that piece of wood. And then we swing it round, and the trick is to balance it the other way. You have to be good to balance it the other way. And because we have this way of ringing, that we can do that, and we can control the speed of the bell, this is why in England you will hear the ding, 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 and not the dong, 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 dong sound that you hear on the continent. Now, this is wonderful, except it's a health and safety nightmare. If anyone did a risk assessment on this, I learned to ring when I was a teenager. My sister learned to ring when she was 8. At the age of 8, this high, she was standing on a box with a rope in her hand, at the other end of which was a piece of metal the weight of a mini. And it's all about the balance and keeping momentum in the bell. And what you do is you take hold of the end and you don't let go. What do you not do? Let go. And you then hold the fluffy bit of the rope, which is called the sally, very sexist. You pull that, you let go, that goes up, you're still holding this, which you do not let go. You pull that back, the bell tips round, and you come and you catch. Okay? Nothing could go wrong. One of my most vivid memories as a teenager was watching someone nearly hanged in the tower. Someone had been having lessons with our bell captain, John Betts. John Betts was an elder of the village. He was the butcher in Maidstone. Betts the Butchers was the butcher to go to, and he always gave us a lift to the belfry because the church was half a mile out of the village, and his car always smelt of sawdust and meat. But that was okay. I wasn't a vegetarian. It was all right. We got to the belfry, and you'd have a private lesson for those who were very beginners. So there was a gentleman, probably in his 30s, who was having a lesson for being a beginner. The rest of us arrived, and so it was time for him to ring with everybody else. So we had the bells, and 1, 2, 3, him, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the way you start, look to, treble's going, she's gone, and the first bell goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What mustn't you do? Let go. If you let go and you're lucky, the rope goes straight up through the hole, wraps round the wheel, and just goes down, 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 down. It takes quite a long time. If you're unlucky, the rope doesn't go all the way through the hole, and it comes back. A twisting, venomous snake of hemp. He let go. He was unlucky. And the serpent of hemp came coiling back down and wrapped itself around his neck as we watched. And there was nothing we could do because we were still holding on to our ropes, making sure that our bells were balanced. And John Betts, the bell captain, who had been teaching him, was facing me. And I still, when I think about it, I don't know how he knew what to do. He saw the rope wrap itself around the man's neck, and he knocked the rope in the other direction. It flicked in the other direction, wrapped itself around John Betts' arm, yanked him up, dropped him on the ground, pulled him up again and down until eventually John had managed to unwrap it and control the bell. And you know, people say that time slows down when you have an accident or you're witness an accident. I can still picture every fraction of a second of that happening because you're always doing, what if he hadn't managed to do that? Bells are very dangerous. Any Dorothy L. Sayers fans? Which one am I talking of? Which one? The 9 tailors. And how is the person killed?
Yes, he
was tied up in the bell chamber when the bells rang. Again, today we would never allow this, but when I was a child, initiation, when you first started to learn to bell ring, was to go up into the chamber while all of the bells were ringing at the same time. And your ears would take so long to recover from it, from the sound, and you'd hear the sound of all of the bells going, the sound of the wood moving, because it's very disturbing to watch the frame move while the bells are moving in it. And the sound is extraordinary. And the more bells you've got, the better sound you've got. And the more bells you've got, the bigger the tower you've got. The bigger tower you've got. And the bigger tower you've got, the more important you are. Freud would have a lot to say. So we had 8 bells. Very respectable. Can't imagine for us to 8. Leeds Parish Church, on the other side of Leeds Castle, they had 10. We're quite servile in Kent because we're such a conservative culture. So there wasn't actually jealousy, it was more we took the forelock to Leeds. Newington, on the other hand, has 7 bells. Newington's up near Chatham. I've been in Surrey too long. You'd never say Chatham if you were in Kent. It's Chatham. I know I taught there. It's Chatham. And Newington is just on the outskirts of Chatham. And they've got, actually they haven't got 7 bells, have they? That's wrong. They've got 6 bells. They wanted 7. They started off with 7. But now they only have 6. Bells are very expensive. Very expensive to have bells cast for a tower. The people have to give extra money, and if you're talking about small, poor, rural community, that takes a long time to achieve. You've got to prize money out of the Lord of the Manor to do it. But they did it. They got 7 bells. They paid for 7 bells, and 7 bells went in. That's wrong as well. They paid for 6. But the church wardens told them they paid for 7. And the 7 bells were hung in the tower. And the people of Newington were delighted to have their 7 bells, but the church wardens feared, for they knew that they were living on borrowed time, because one of those bells was not paid for. So the only solution they had, what could we do? Sell it. Not as easy as it sounds once you've got bells inside a tower. Now, if you're going to a church, a medieval church, or a church that's got bells, you'll see in the tower there's a circular hole in the ceiling that's got boards over it. That's where the bells are taken up and down. Now, of course, to do that, you have to take all of the bells out to be able to do that. You can't just do it. And the bells were there. And so the church wardens of Newington planned very carefully, and one night, it's probably in winter because the night would be long, they climbed the tower with block and tackle. They had ropes. They had frame. They had horses below to take the weight. They had a cart so they could lower the bell onto it. They tied the clapper so that it wouldn't make any noise. And then they peeled back the lead of the roof, and they attached the bell to the pulley, to the horses, and the horse began to pull. So let's leave them there, removing that bell. It's quite a long job, so we've got time to go somewhere else. So I'm just going to test your geology now. Earth, okay? Earth's crust in places is a bit thin. What happens if the Earth's crust is too thin? Volcanoes. And what comes out?
Lava.
You say lava, Peter. You're using technical language, which is great, but why don't you just say the fires of horrid hell? Because where the Earth's crust is thinnest, that is where it is closest to horrid hell, and where we are only a few metres away from the very kingdom of Satan himself. As you may be aware, the Archbishop of the Anglican Communion, the prime Archbishop of the Anglican Communion, is from where? Canterbury. Canterbury. Do you know why? I'll tell you why. If you said volcano, have you heard of the volcano of Chatham? The tsunami of Strood? The earthquake of Rochester? No. Because it is Canterbury Cathedral, that great house of prayer, that prevents hell breaking through at that thin place. Because underneath Kent is not just hell, it is the very throne chamber of Satan. And Satan sits upon his throne immediately below the church of Newington, which had now got 7 bells. And every time he wanted to give a speech, those damn bells were ringing and interrupting him. If he wanted to have a snooze, those damn bells would stop him and wake him up. Satan, devil, the devil was not a happy bunny, if Satan could ever be described as a bunny. So let's go back to the tower. And the horses are taking the strain. And the church wardens of Newington can smell the smell of burning hemp as the ropes are pulling along the pulleys. Does hemp smell of sulphur? Not normally. That was a wrong smell. And they turn round, and standing on the edge of the tower, staring at them, was Satan. And what did they think? Why would Satan be there?
For their souls.
For their souls? Why? So what was it?
They're stealing.
They're stealing the bells of the church. Satan had come to take them away. They screamed. They ran down the church stairs, the tower stairs to the bottom, letting go of the rope, freaking the horse. The bell began to drop, but of course Satan hadn't even seen the church wardens. All he had seen was that damn bell that's keeping me awake. And he grabbed hold of the bell before it could drop through, and he jumped off the church tower, landed on the ground, ran down the church road and threw the bell into the stream, where it smashed into 1,000 pieces. And then he went back to hell to get some sleep. Next morning was a Sunday. The bell ringers came to ring the bells, and there were only 6 of them. It was Satan! We saw him! The devil himself! He stole the bee! Would you believe that? Seriously, would you believe that? If you were in Newington, you would. Because next to the tower in Newington, there was a stone. And imprinted, pushed into the stone itself, was the footprint of Satan. And if you visit the village of Newington and go to the parish church and go up to the front door, you'll see a stone nearby with a footprint of Satan upon it. And the people of Newington say that if you go down to the stream and throw stones into the stream, if you're lucky, you'll hear a ding as your pebble hits one of the 1,000 pieces of the bell. Bell ringing is a dangerous business.